Part of the issue is that it's very much a focus on the money that can be made now instead of the money that could be made later. Because a lot of the visitors, we don't expect them to come back, we try to squeeze them for as much money as we can while they're here. Unfortunately, we don't realize the impact that that has on people where they're coming from. Because then they tell that story, and then people are going to other countries instead of here. But you could have some type of farm with something that is unique to Ghana, or that grows a certain way, and if you advertise it the right way, people will pay big money to come and stay on your farm and learn how to grow it, how to cook it, how to cultivate it. You want to get exposure to things that are unique, that are different. You want to be able to tell a different story. And so if there's a farm in Ghana that has that particular thing or something very unique that they can write a paper on, they will pay money. They will get scholarships to pay money to come to the farm, and they will work it for free. They will pay you to work your farm. And I would argue that we're probably the safest country on the continent. From an access perspective, talk about visa, that is going to stop them in their tracks time and time again. You ask 10 people that have been to Ghana from the global north, and 9 of them will say that it was very challenging. And that is generous. From a tourism perspective, Ghana in different regions could choose to make some things a loss leader to get people in the door. It's marketing. The slave castles are not just the slave castles because of that. There are so many other aspects of the slave castles that, in terms of stories that are never told, or not told enough. And so if you think about it that way, what if you were to look at the slave castle and remove the history? Just bear with me for a second. It's a structure. It's a military structure. It's an old structure. It is made with certain materials. It has coastline. It has fishing elements surrounding it. So if you remove the really evil history, if we can for a moment, and we think about it in a different way, then that creates an opportunity for a totally different tourism group. When you have a Portuguese visitor come, because let's assume that many are not coming in the first place, but what is the story that we tell to a Portuguese group that is different than we tell an African American group? That is a completely different story, because what is at the basis for why a Portuguese group might be coming? Because they're complicit.
There has to be some type of penalties. When you go through with the visas, I've been pulled over 11 times. My crew members get pulled over. It is strictly harassment. From my experience being on the planes, and I talk to all the passengers all the time, their biggest issue of not coming back is the police.
What I think is the deeper issue there is that our police here are not paid well enough. And so as a result, they're shaking everybody down. One of the bigger issues is the police, when they do that, they don't consider the implications for the country. They don't connect shaking visitors down and their lowered investment in the country or their willingness to come back, which in turn hurts their ability, because where does their pay come from?
The will of the powers that be, the government, the local authorities, that tourism is a viable economic driver for the country, and that it has got the same value as cocoa, if not more. The government and the local authorities need to value it as an industry, and I don't think they do that here, because if they did, you wouldn't have this harassment by the police. People would buy into the value of tourism rather than see it as something,
If we have a plan, the taxi driver would know his role to play in promoting this country. If we have a plan, the food seller on the street also will know what to do to promote this country. If we have a plan, even the ordinary rubbish collector knows what to do. We spend a lot of money in promoting this country. I don't know what we promote. For many years, the same itinerary many people are using in this country for promoting tourism We've not even increased them 1 inch. Yet we keep on promoting tourism in this country. The question is, what are we promoting?
Just getting out of the airport of Rwanda, sit in a taxi, the taxi driver is already marketing their country to you, and you're already falling in love and want to.
When I first went to the first castle, my very first trip, and then handed it to Madame, and Madame put it in her shirt. That was the first experience. I was like, aha, so this is how things work. We should be generous with this. If we prioritize multi-visit visas, then people are more likely to come again. Again, it's that line of sight thing. When they come here, we have to value them. We have to give them just enough positive experiences so that they want to come back. What if